Kanchipuram sarees are made with high quality mulberry silk. Raw silk is bought from sericulture farms and twisted. This is converted into skeins. For making the warp yarns, skeins are converted into warps of various length in warping mills. Warping is a separate industry by itself. Undyed silk is bought in form of skeins and warps. Saree making starts with dyeing. Kanchipuram sarees are woven from dyed yarn and numerous color combinations are possible for warp and weft yarns. Once the saree color is chosen, warp and weft yarns are dyed in different color to get the specified color effect. After dyeing, warp yarns have to be stretched and sized. Sizing is done by dipping the yarn in starch so that the yarn remains untangled and stiff for weaving. After sizing, full length of yarn is stretched and all the excess starch is blown away by beating the yarn. Any visitor to Kanchipuram can see the warp being stretched and beaten outside a weaver's home. Now we go for zari warping. Zari is a metallic yarn made out of silver and gold and twisted with silk. Zari making is an industry by itself. Zari is bought from zari making factories in form of reels. This is the most expensive raw material bought for making sarees. With a warping board, zari from the reel is made as warp. You see the weaver making the warp with the warping board. Take a look at this loom. This is the condition wherein the warp of the previously woven fabric is cut. Weaver joins the silk and zari yarn of the previously cut warp with the new one by twisting one by one. Please note that each and every yarn is as thin as human hair. This is a very time consuming process. You see threads tied to each and every warp. These are used to lift specific warp yarns to make the designs on the saree. In olden days, this was done manually using pickup sticks. Nowadays, jacquard looms are used. In jacquard looms, the designs are transferred into series of cards with punched holes. Number of cards punched will vary according to design. Professional designers convert paper designs into punched cards. Saree designing for jacquard loom is a separate industry by itself. You can see the chain of design cards. This is a very simple design. It has 280 cards. Cards have to be programmed and punched in thousands if the designs get complicated. All the punched cards are loaded in a box. After every headling, warp yarns are lifted according to the pattern punched on the cards and the weft yarns are passed under the lifted warps with finger bobbin to realize the designs. Generally, two boxes are set up, one for the border and another one for the body and the headpiece. Weft preparation is done by first winding the yarn from the dyed skein onto a hand bobbin. You can see the weaver turning the hand bobbin to wind the yarn from the skein. From the hand bobbin, silk is wound on finger bobbin and shuttle bobbin with a bobbin winder. Now shuttle bobbins are inserted in shuttles. Now the loom is ready for weaving, following the sequence as shown in the flowchart: making shed, shuttling, and weaving. You see now the weaver weaving the sari. After every 4 to 6 inches of weaving, fabric is wound over the warp rod. This process is continued till the entire length of 6 yards is woven. After weaving, the sari is cut and the hanging warps are tasseled. The sari is folded in a specific format and ready to go. It takes 7 days to 2 months to weave a sari depending on the intricacy of the design. Weaving absolute contrast in the warp direction originated in Kanchipuram. Weaving absolute contrast requires 3 wefts. Every time a shed is made, 3 wefts are passed or interlocked. This calls for a minimum of 2 weavers. You can see the weaver on a korvai sari interlocking 2 different color yarns. Nowadays, specific colors are chosen to create korvai effects rather than korvai weaving. This can still give only related contrast. There is no other way to get saris with absolute contrast other than korvai weaving. Temples in the border can be made only by korvai weaving. With korvai, creative temples are made. Perfect geometric temples enhance the sari beauty, but is very time consuming to make.